co-payments. We'll talk about the drug listing, but I think you'll know how to use it. And then for most of you, it'll be a little adaptation to that. And then, like I said, when it starts, when it renews, etc. So some of these are familiar to you. So it sounds a little more familiar, doesn't it? Yes? Excellent question. If I have MedX2 and I travel, and I also have this Part D plan, does it come with me? Yes, it does. So MedX2 being a national portable plan, so many participating retail pharmacies in this plan. I can name, and my Blue Cross folks behind me will laugh, you know, it could be Wegmans, it could be BJ's, it could be Costco, Stop and Shop, Rite Aid, CVS, whatever, or the mail order service, and we'll talk about that, is CVS Caremark. The biggest change I think you'll feel is just setting up the mail order service again for those who desire using the mail order service. And I have some nods of yes and some nods of no, and that's completely understandable. But like I said, the B versus D world, that happens to go hand in hand with most diabetics because of supplies and then the drugs. The formulary, we talked about what it is, and we'll get into it in more detail. Should I have another insurance in addition to this? No, you do not need to go out and buy another Part D plan. The only folks in this room who might have another insurance would be veterans. And if you have a question about utilizing your veterans benefit, Blue Cross and Maya are here to help you after the session. We can talk about that, what pays primary, what might be secondary, but really you're the only folks I can think of in the room. Getting extra help with prescriptions. The state of Massachusetts does a good job of providing extra help, and you have a council on aging here, but I'll tell you that the bar is set pretty low. The threshold to get it, unfortunately, you might, as a retiree from a town or being a spouse of with your pension, have more in income, believe it or not, than qualifying for the low income. But it never hurts to ask, right? The worst you could hear is no. So if that does apply to you, there's some numbers listed in here where you could always give that a shot. Never hurts to ask folks. And you have some SHINE counselors and the Council on Aging folks who are constantly working on that with retirees. And if you know someone to let them know, that's a good avenue to take. Always give it a shot. And looking now, for those who are following along, I'm on page 4 of the Blue Medicare Rx summary, and I'm just trying to be cautious of my time as well. In looking at this, protections under the plan, we're communicating to you today. So the kickoff of this was the Save the Date memo from the community. And obviously you're here today. And doing a rough head count, I think we're over 140 people in the room, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's about right. And then all together, you're about 550 retirees for Saugus. So a round of applause and kudos to you for being a great turnout. You're actually one of my highest numbers of percentages of towns and the audience that came first to the first meeting. So I don't have a prize for that except from pens up here, but thank you for that. In terms of the plan itself, the protections, communication is one of the protections you'll get. From the town, you heard from them. Maya and the plan itself will be communicating to you. People laugh when I say it, but you get communicated to, then you get communicated to about what you were communicated to, and then you get communicated to about what you were communicated to. So it's a federal program which helps to keep the rate lower, so the communication is in order to be compliant. So some of you might be like, what are all these cockamamie papers, right? What are the documents? Why do I have so many of them? Keep them in a safe place. If it comes from the town,